Hello to my fans. How are y'all doing? I just wanted to make a quick video here. I don't know if you heard or you've been keeping up with things, but on these Epstein data drops, somebody's name came up, and George Lucas. So now I'm not going to sit here and presume, because just like Trump was listed in them, they went back and they knew he only flew from Mar-a-Lago to New Jersey or New York on one of his planes one time, so they didn't have anything there. Or he would have went to jail way back when Mueller was doing his investigation if they'd had something then. The thing is I can't say that George has anything that he really did there yet. I mean, we don't know yet. Let's just put it that way. So I'm not going to make any presumptions about what he may or may not have done if he's been on the island. But it still doesn't look good. You know what I mean? It doesn't look good. And I know the whole story about what happened with Trump and Epstein, and he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and banned him from there, and then turned state's evidence against him. So a lot of people don't even know that, when he got arrested in Florida all them years ago, and then they turned around and let him off. I'm not going to talk about that anyway. That's not what the story's about. The story's about Mr. Lucas. So Mr. Lucas was listed, and I'll show you here. Think of that. I mean, I've told you he was, in my opinion, that he's Luciferian. He puts Lucifer in Star Wars. He put another demonic entity, which is a Yoda, which a lot of y'all don't know. I don't care if you make cute baby Yodas or big irregular Yodas. He was a creature taken from a mysterious book called the Winich manuscript, and it was considered to be a demonic entity. Furthermore, we can go on by, there's two kinds of sins you can commit. There's a sin you commit, and then there's a sin of omission where you should have done something you didn't do. Well, again, he put Satan in the cantina in Mos Eisley. He put Yoda in the movies, which is a demonic entity from the Voynich manuscript. Then he never ever mentions God. Now we're going to go to one more thing. Midi-chlorians. When God created the heavens and the earth, whether you believe in God or not, his word is what they said. He said, let there be light, that the word was with God. So the word was God's power. What he said happened, right? In other words, what was the force behind that is the force. You see what I'm getting at here? And now George likened it to something that came from single-celled organisms called midi-chlorians. Look, I've said this to y'all, I don't know how many times. I'm not going to sit here and make up anything about anybody. I wouldn't say any of the things I've said. I was 7 years old when George Lucas's cousin lived around the corner from me. He got me on the phone in April of 1974, right at the end of April. And he got Jadonites in the force from me. His cousin almost killed me the same day. And I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't true. So one day you're going to know the truth, and as things come out, you're going to start to realize more and more that this man is not the person you think he is. Star Wars isn't what you think it is. They never mention God. It's Luciferian, dude. The bright lights flashing and all that got you all sucked right into it, and the truth is, it's not good. And neither is George. George is, like I said, in my opinion, I think he's Luciferian. You look at THX, 1138, his second movie, which was after American Graffiti. You know, I'm half mind to go back and watch American Graffiti and see if he ever mentions God in that too. But in THX 1138, I haven't watched it either, but I know what it's all about. I know the whole premise of the movie, and I remember seeing it a long time ago, but I don't remember all the details. Whether they ever mentioned God in that one, I don't know. But in that movie, they're trying to turn people into machines by using, DNA and all that sort of stuff. Turning, microchips injected in your skin and then outright turning people into machines. And that's, if you see the cover for the here, I'll put it on here. See, and now that was a man. Now he looks like a machine. He's like metal, So it's the whole thing. It's that was 1971 when that came out. Star Wars he released in 77. He stole from me in 1974, which is in between. But you realize now that was 1974. This is 2024. This will be the 50th year on April the 20. I think it was the 27th or 26th of April of 1974 when he got me on the phone. And again, I don't care what you believe. If you don't believe it, I'm sorry. I can't tell you anything other than the truth. So if you don't believe the truth, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. If I can't just tell you and you understand, I'm not going to sit here and just make up these things about him for no reason. And what he did to Lee Brackett, I mean, I think she wrote all three of the first Star Wars, that the ones everybody thinks are so great. And then, well, that's before, once you realize the truth, I don't think she realized how bad they were unless she was one of them. But I'm not going to go into that. But I think she wrote all three because she gave him a lot of material, and they put her in the credits of the second one, Empire Strikes Back. So she obviously had to been, when he came to her and said, hey, put in this thing, Jedi Knights and the Force, she had to have looked at him and go, where'd you get that from? That I said, there's someone who used to work for Lucasfilm who actually, it just started raining outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Almost sounds like hail. Supposed to start snowing here, but anyway, someone named Crone45 came on, and they told me, that he or she, whoever they are, worked for George Lucas, and they was standing close by, and they overheard George. Now this is just what they're saying, so I can't vouch for them 100% that what they're saying is true, but I have no reason to disbelieve them at this point because I already know it's true. So why wouldn't I believe somebody if they said I heard him say it? So unless there's someone who's just trying to, I don't know. I wouldn't think somebody would do that. But Chrome45, if you're still watching my videos, thank you again. And I'm not trying to discredit you at all. As a matter of fact, I think you were being honest, and that's what I think. My dog won't leave me alone. Sorry. Okay. Get down now. My little one's down here too. Quick. Anyway, I didn't want to make a big long video. I just wanted to come on here and mention that he had been, his name was in the Epstein Island drops, or Epstein court case drops. I guess that was from the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Stop now. No. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here and again say that, and then I want y'all to think that I'm still here, and I still haven't moved yet, and I've been trying to move, and I've had so many things like working against me, so that don't mean you give up. So I keep pushing forward, and I'm going to get moved, and I have the stuff to set up a studio. I have no room to do it here. I'm not going to turn this book, but right now most of my boxes are upstairs where I've been packing my house up, and everything's in boxes upstairs. So I really don't have the room and the ability to set up a studio here. So I've always used my dining room. This is my dining room. But anyway, and my sliding glass doors go outside here. But anyway, again, he's not a good person. He steals from people. He steals from little kids. You know, now you know he steals from little 7-year-old kids. Tells them. Now, see, here's the thing. If he had not said to me on the phone, I'm going to make you rich and famous, I wouldn't really have anything that I could hold against him, because if I just gave it to him, then what would I be able to say about it? I mean, but it wasn't that. He told me he was going to make me rich and famous, so his word was an oral contract to me, saying, okay, you give me this, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to make you rich and famous. So that's when he got Jedi Knights in the Force. You know, it's just a coincidence, and I can't imagine it's just what kind of a coincidence that is, that Lee Brackett and Edmund Hamilton had a Force too, but theirs was not the same. Now, he did call it the Force in one of his books, which Edmund Hamilton and Lee Brackett's books go all the way back to 1933. So almost everything in Star Wars came out of their books. Tractor beams, lightsabers, Han, the name Han, the name Kessel, Ben, so Ben Kenobi, all that, you know what I'm saying? All that came out of, you know, and people don't understand. I would not be sitting here telling you this if it wasn't true, and I'm sorry if you don't like it. I liked the first 3 movies when they came out, although when I went into the theater to see the first movie, I stood in line. We were all excited to go see it. Me and my dad and my brothers went inside. We saw the movie, and then when he got to the point where he was in the cave, when he went in after the Sand People attacked him, and he said, your father was a Jedi like me, whatever he said. That's when I said to my dad, I said, isn't that mine? And my dad goes, no, that was his, son. So I didn't remember again, like I said, until 1999. And y'all may not understand. I went through a lot of traumatic experiences. There's something called repressed trauma, something. I can't remember the name of it, but I started remembering all this in 1999, and I didn't really have like full recall till sometime in 2000. So, you know what? I had a piece of evidence, but you already know from my other videos. I'm not going into that again. I filed FOIA requests because he sent an FBI agent to my house once, and I had filed a FOIA request, and they guess what they did? They stonewalled me. There's no evidence, but I have a police report with his name on it. But yet, I'm getting stonewalled by them. Okay. So that'll tell you everything you need to know. Some people are protected class, you know. Anyway, just trying to tell you the truth. The man's a Luciferian. I believe that, in my opinion. He may be guilty of a lot more than just plagiarism if he's on the Epstein Island list. So, and one more thing. Now, in the interview with Charlie Rose, there's something I wanted to make a valid point about. He said that when he made Star Wars, he wanted to go back to the older propaganda. And he called God propaganda. If you can go listen to the interview yourself. I've put the clips in my other videos. You've probably seen them. But he says, when he made Star Wars, he wanted to go back to the older propaganda. Now tell me, he never puts God in there anywhere. So what propaganda is he talking about? He never ever once mentions God in Star Wars. So what propaganda is he talking about? He put Lucifer in the cantina, brother. Put 2 and 2 together. What other propaganda is he talking about? Here was nothing else godly in there except the Force, which was God's will. So he almost, in that interview, almost in essence, almost admits that he's Luciferian. If you listen to what he says and think about it, he didn't put any other propaganda. So what's the propaganda he added? So you take it whatever way you want. People, take care.